Welcome everyone, my name is Andrew. This is Article 29. Section 1, Jury Duty, establishes that an employee will be excused and paid their guarantee in the event of a jury duty summons. Section 2, Funeral Leave, sets forth the time allowed off in the event of a death in the family. And Section 3, Tax Deferred Savings Plan 401k, outlines the responsibility of the company and the union to maintain the 401k. If you want to skip ahead straight to the reading, go ahead and click on the timestamp in the description. Below, you can find a link to the UPS Teamster contract, or if you have not already, you can also download the UPS Teamsters app on Android or the Apple Store. This app includes the contract with a handy search function that allows you to find articles and sections immediately important to your situation. I have also included a shorts links below to help you with installation. Now real quick, did you know our contract requires our employer to pay your daily guarantee in the event of jury duty? Let me know in the comments below if this is the first time you're learning of this, because I know a couple people in my building that didn't know it until they read about it. Now, either way, rolling forward into the shorter article, I hope you're having a lovely week. I plan on finishing this second week of Impromptu Blitz Saturday, just in honor of the 224 guys, because I know they're working hard. I know they're getting kind of getting beaten up right now with what's going on with contract season. So I'll give you guys an extra one to get it done, rounded out with their week. Anyways, I hope you have a great week. Let's get to the reading. Article 29, Section 1, Jury Duty. When a seniority employee is called for jury duty service, he/she shall be excused from his or her regular duties on the days he or she is required to appear in court or comply with jury rules that prevent him or her from reporting for work. For any regularly scheduled workday in which time off for such jury service is granted, the full-time employee shall be paid his or her guarantee, and the part-time employee shall receive 4 hours pay at his or her straight-time hourly rates, less any amount received as a jury duty fee if such fees are defined as wages under applicable laws. The employee shall be required, however, to turn over to the employer accurate proof of his or her jury duty service and compensation, if any, in order to receive the compensation above provided. Employees who are scheduled to work a day shift shall not be required to report for work on any day he or she is required to report for jury duty unless released from jury duty not less than 6 hours prior to the end of his or her regularly scheduled shift, in which event he or she shall be allowed 2 hours from the time he or she is released from jury duty to report and work the remainder of his or her regularly scheduled shift. Employees scheduled to work any shift other than the day shift shall not be required to report to work on any day he or she is required to report for jury duty unless he or she has been released from jury duty not less than 4 hours prior to the start time of his or her regular shift, and provided further he or she would complete such shift not less than 10 hours prior to the time he or she is required to report for jury duty the next/following day. Notwithstanding the above, no employee working other than a day shift will be required to report to work on a night if he or she has served jury duty that day and that service prevents him or her from reporting for work. An employee's schedule will be adjusted by the employer when possible to avoid a situation in which the employee otherwise misses more than 1 day of work for any day of jury duty. In the event an employee returns to work after being released from jury duty and works beyond his or her regularly scheduled workday, such hours worked shall be compensated for at the applicable overtime rate of pay. An employee who is required to report for jury duty during a week of previously scheduled vacation may select another available week of vacation. Time spent on jury duty service will be considered time worked for purposes of employer contributions to health and welfare and pension plans, vacation eligibility and payment, holidays and seniority, in accordance with the applicable provisions of the supplemental agreements, riders, and addenda. The language contained in this article will supersede any provision in any supplement, rider, or addendum. Section 2, Funeral Leave. In the event of a death of a member of the employee's family, a seniority employee shall be allowed a reasonable time off to attend the funeral or other bereavement rite. Members of the employee's family means spouse, child, or stepchild, grandchild, father, mother, brother, sister, grandparents, mother-in-law, and father-in-law, and step-parents. A regular full-time employee shall be guaranteed 2 days off to be taken between the day of death and 2 working days following the funeral, provided the employee attends the funeral or other bereavement rite. In cases involving the funeral of a relative listed in paragraph 2 above, an employee who attends the funeral or bereavement rite is guaranteed a minimum of 2 days off. An employee shall be allowed 1 day off to attend the funeral or other bereavement right of a sister-in-law, spouse's grandparent, or a brother-in-law. Reimbursement for this day shall be the same as provided below. Time off shall not extend beyond the day of the funeral unless an additional day is required for travel, except as provided above. In no event will total compensated time off exceed 4 scheduled work days. The employee will be reimbursed at 8 times the employee's straight time hourly rate for each day lost from work for those employees whose regularly scheduled work week is 5 days, and 10 times the straight time hourly rate for whose employees whose regular scheduled work week is 4 days. Part-time employees will receive the same benefit as above, paid at 4 times the employee's hourly rate. Better conditions contained in supplements, riders, or addenda will be maintained by present employees. All employees hired after July 2nd, 1982 will be covered by the above language. Section 3. Tax Deferred Savings Plan 401k. The employer and the union agreed to continue the Teamster UPS National 401k Tax Deferred Savings Plan. The employer shall pay the record-keeping expense for the plan. It is further agreed by the union and the employer that the employer shall withhold from an employee's earnings amounts mutually agreed between the employer and the employee and deposit such monies into a 401k account in the employee's name in compliance with the Internal Revenue Code and ERISA. This plan will be jointly administered by the union and the employer.